where you feel
But
right.
I would feel like I accomplished if I do 130, but then my ideal would be 120.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this then, because you kind of smiled and had a better energy when you said 120, and that was your first answer.
That was my first
And now you're hedging your bets here. You're hedging your bets, and your brain is doing stuff. So here's my question to you: do you think it's possible, at this point in your life, to weigh 120 in a healthy way?
Yes.
Yes.
I believe
That's it.
it'll take.
Okay. I'm going to stick with 120. I'm not going to let her get away with giving herself already an out after she had put it out there. She already was doing this stuff,
Yeah, I
right?
was.
Yeah. So, and I don't know if that's where you're going to end up, but it sounds like you do know that that would be a healthy weight for you.
It would be.
At this phase of your life, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause I was told one time I was going to Weight Watchers years ago,
Yeah.
and she gave me a weight,
Uh-huh.
and I said,
Yeah,
and I was
yeah.
in my 30s, and I went, no, it's going to be more than that. And she said, oh, no. That was like the first time someone said that to me. She said, you're big boned. I'm like, no, I'm not. I am tiny. And I've been
Yeah.
tiny my whole life up until then. She said, no, you're big boned. You're not going to get down there. That'll be unhealthy. And I said, no, you don't know me. I'm really tiny. So I was not real heavy then, but it looked more normal to her, and I should only lose 10 pounds, where I knew that I'd feel more comfortable if I lost, say, 20, you know? But it was, she told me, no, you can't do that. And I was, you're big boned.
Well, like I said, everybody's got an opinion, don't they?
I
You know?
And that kind of like really just struck me.
I'm more interested in what inside of you feel is right.
I
because,
feel like I can,
you know,
I can be 120 with my size would feel so good.
Yeah, you'd
And it
feel
would
tiny
have to
again.
be healthy.
You'd feel tiny
Yeah,
again.
I mean,
Yeah,
to
because
do
whatever
that.
you are, you want to be healthy.
Yeah.
And by the way, even now, that's the goal, is on the journey to 120,
Yeah.
is to stay healthy,
Right.
or to get healthier all the way through that, and to
I
stay
don't
that
wanna-
way, yeah.
To me, the feeling of getting healthy was such a chore that I don't want my goal to be getting healthy.
Ah,
My goal is going to be to lose weight while getting healthier, or to
and that
healthily
will
lose weight.
kind of, yeah.
Because it's
go
more
together.
exciting to me to lose the weight and get
Yeah.
healthier than make my goal getting healthy.
Yeah.
That's more of a job.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I already did that.
That's why you're not coming here today to have that as the focus.
Right.
Even though you know that's going to be one of the side benefits.
Exactly.
One of the
That's
best
what
one
I
of the
wanted
best
to
side
do,
benefits.
exactly.
Yeah,
I
because
wanted
you
to
know
do
how good it
better.
feels to be tiny and to weigh 120.
Yeah.
How long ago was it that you weighed 120?
120. That was my heavyweight, but no, it was actually my 30s probably.
In your
early
30s? Yeah. I thought you were about 30s now. What are you? The older I get, the younger
in
everybody
class,
else
are you?
looks. No, we don't need to know
That's
that.
the most
Okay.
beautiful thing you've ever done.
I forget how old I am
feel
until I
so
look in the
good.
mirror. Too.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
So good. So 30s. Yeah.
I'm 55.
55. Oh, you're just a baby.
Now
Okay.
I know how old you
So we
are.
got the goal now. Specific.
When? You said
When?
the
Timely.
next- right.
So now the next thing I want to find out is, back here, is about, you want to do this in a healthy way,
Yes, I do.
obviously, and the nicest way to adapt new behaviors to be permanent along the way to that 120 is to do it in a reasonably slower,
Right.
not rapid, the rapid
Right.
weight loss is why people do the yo-yo dieting. So what in your, do you have like an idea of about when you think would be a reasonable, healthy time for you to arrive at that destination of 120?
Well, like a bigger goal might be like a year. But I'd like to be losing as I go along.
Oh, sure.
In certain little goals.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's always the
But
chunking
I
down with
think-
this. But ultimately, though, is there do you have an
Maybe,
idea about?
I say a year because a year seems like a long time, but I don't. I have to see how well it goes.
Yeah, well, you can adjust it later, but
Yeah.
just to have kind of an idea, you think in about a year,
is, like,
year.
practical, and
Yeah.
I can accept that.
Okay,
in a
good.
year if I
Okay.
do what I'm supposed to
So,
do. and
so we'll go with
what I'm
that.
supposed to do.
And again, you can adjust it as you
Yeah.
go, but you want to do it in a methodical way where you're changing your behaviors
Yes.
and your
One of the
tastes
things
are
I
going to
wanna
change and
do
all
under
of that.
Hypnosis is be more happy about changing my food.
Of course.
And, you know, all that stuff
Yeah.
instead of like, okay, if I do this, I'll feel better and my body won't ache and I'll lose some weight.
But that's like trying to convince yourself,
Yes,
and you're going.
yeah.
Oh,
So I
I'm
want
a-"
it to be
yeah.
one of the parts of hypnosis I want to do is. For a while, I was liking the changes. I was feeling like I'm doing this, but
Yeah.
it still works. So I wanted to
Yeah,
be less
yeah.
work and more who I am.
Yeah.
You
Because,
know?
and that's what hypnosis does, because we're going to be working at your unconscious level, which means you're not aware of it.
Right.
And you're just going to, you know, the goal, because you set the goal, you set the
Yeah.
intention for yourself. And I firmly believe that on the way to any ultimate destination, it's about the journey,
Yeah, it is definitely.
because the journey is what life is, right? And when you get there, you're still continuing your journey.
Right.
So you want to be as happy and healthy
Right.
and positive
I
and
don't want it to be drudgery. I want it
right,
to be.
right.
When I was first learning about food and how it affects your body and what does bother me, what doesn't, it was fascinating to me.
Yeah?
It was like I'm a
Is it
walking
still
chemistry
fascinating
set.
to you?
It still is, but it feels heavier. Like, oh, I feel if I didn't do it, or if I'm eating something I shouldn't eat. I want to
Yeah.
feel like it's okay to still eat something here
Uh-huh.
and there, but it's not something I like. Okay, I ate that. I've been eating bread now, so I forget it. You know?
Yeah,
And, like I want
yeah.
to be able to still play with other stuff sometimes and not feel guilty about it. you know?
Well, and I think what you're telling me, tell me if I'm right, is that you want to be in control and be okay with your choices.
Yeah, I want to feel good about my choices.
Yeah.
I want to be okay with, because there's this part of me that eating healthy is very exciting, and I'm learning so
Oh,
much
good.
about it.
Good.
Yeah.
That's the part you want to.
That's what I
that's
wanna-
what you
yeah.
want to run with.
Right.
Because
there's
if you
another
can be
part of me
excited
going,
and
okay, one more thing I have to do. Okay, now I have to do this. I can't have that anymore. You know, that kind of
Yeah.
thing. I want to.
Yeah,
that part
because
out.
deprivation
Yeah, I
and
know
saying
I
you
do that.
can't have, you can have anything you want.
Right.
This is going to be about getting excited about
Yes.
the
That's it.
journey of discovering maybe even some
Yeah.
new interesting ways to all those. You said you know a lot about what's in foods and
I
things.
learned a
and
lot.
Yeah.
About
Yeah.
what my body can tolerate, what it can't tolerate.
what it can tolerate, meaning.
Like if I eat wheat,
Mm-hmm.
I literally, if I eat too much wheat, or flour, or stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that,
yeah.
It hurts my joints. My joints
Yeah.
literally hurt. I
Okay.
get bumps in my fingers, and I'm
Yeah.
feeling that more so. I want to get
Yeah.
back again,
Yeah.
because I've been lax about it.
Okay. And has that been for your whole life, like back in your 30s when you were 120 and
Back
before
in my
that?
30s, I had started. I had a weight issue with that when I had my oldest daughter. Thank you. And never had a weight issue before, so that was, and I was only 21. So I was like, whoa, what's this? I never
Yeah,
had a problem
sure,
with this.
your body changes,
That was
okay.
kind of shocking. And it took me about a good year to lose that weight because nothing was working at first. Then it finally all came in together because I learned more about it. Then I was pretty good. If I started gaining a little weight, I'd watch what I ate, but it wasn't the same as changing everything I ate because it was more portion control. But with the idea that I had lupus and that some chronic thing, that then it was more, how are you going to do this? You're not going to live with this. It's not going to debilitate you. So it became more about my health, and food became a catalyst to get healthy or to be unhealthy. And then I learned certain foods by clearing it out of me for a while.
Okay.
Really made a huge difference.
And that's kind of where you want to be still, it sounds like.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's not drudgery. That was like you had
like
you were on a mission, right?
Yeah, I was on a mission, and I feel like I kind of slid backwards a bit with the whole back to that again.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I want to keep moving forward, bring myself back forward again, and be like, this is
Okay.
exciting, and
Okay.
I'm losing the weight, and I'm healthy.
Good.
And I
Okay.
can show other people that,
Yeah.
Try to do it.
And your job is something, you said something about you don't want to be doing this the rest of your
No, I
life.
don't, I won't.
But it's something for now, it's a means to an end, or it's for
Exactly.
some
It's-
space
so
of
I
time
call it
it's
my little
necessary,
base
or
pay, so I can
yeah.
get my business going. And
So
and
you
it's
are
also
working on that
interesting.
now? Are you transitioning at some point
Right
in
now,
the foreseeable
there's changes
future?
in the job coming up that I don't really know about yet. So
Okay.
everything's iffy.
So it's a lot of unknowns
Yeah, and a lot
to
of people
come.
just got laid off.
Okay,
so.
okay. So that's going to be happening.
Yep.
That's the way it is for now.
Right.
You know, and things down the line, you've got some
Like I
ideas
say,
about
change
changing it at
is
some point.
necessary.
Yeah. But this is the focus of this is what's going to be important is getting yourself on this healthy
Yes.
and being able to stay positive and,
Yeah.
and all that good stuff about it. Okay, so we can pause here. I've got everything I need to start working with this person at this point. And somebody, I think you mentioned, we've got some good things we can. She's had a lot of success with stuff. I've got her to actually mention that she can be excited about changing diet, you know, because you want to really focus on that part of it, making it exciting, making it interesting, being on a mission. She knows she can do it. It's important to her, and not to give any attention or focus or even bring back the ideas about the drudgery and all that stuff. That's what isn't going to help her get where she needs to be. Yeah.
One thing I noticed that I would probably incorporate is that she had a change in the way that she presented it, and she slipped in there that she couldn't take it when she would beat herself up if she had bread or something, and she'd say, oh, forget the whole thing. So I would encourage a plan where it's progress, not perfection, where she's not setting herself up for failing. So it's something that's allows, if she makes a mistake, that she can pick herself up and get back on track again. Because
Which
I
I
was
did do
sensing
before.
that you really beat yourself up when you make a mistake and quit.
Yeah, and I didn't, when I was doing my other thing, I would once in a while do something that was not healthy and still be okay, because I'm like, okay, so I did that, and I had
Right.
a better attitude about it.
So that's what we would access again. Make sure that's the attitude. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because now it's just
because
like,
with
screw it,
weight,
I don't care.
with weight, there are going to be setbacks. There's going to be sidetracks,
Yeah.
and that's what this is about. That's why we need a well-formed outcome,
Yeah.
because she's got to. I'm going to give her anchors and triggers to have her when she does something or did something
Yeah, that's great.
or got off. That's why I give everybody those. You set the GPS, and we're going to have that whole conversation. You know, I'm not doing a full pre-talk here, but that's part of it. And to give her tools to take out of the office so that when she starts catching herself thinking or beating herself up or she just did something she wished she hadn't, to bring it back, refocus on the goal,
Yes.
and get that attitude into that. I would incorporate the old attitude of, you know, where it was okay, bring that back, get her into that state, get her into the emotions of it, anchor it into the anchor. That'll be part of what brings you back, and you're able to, that's gone, okay, I'm back on track. No beating yourself up. Yeah.
No, I see her goal is easy to make, okay, because it's about
With weight, it's usually a little easier to have a
2.5 pounds
pinpoint.
per week.
But I'm not going to tell her that, though.
No, I'm
Yeah.
If that was
that's
for
what
a
I said.
year,
That's your goal, 120
so
for
2.5 pounds a week, would that be for the year?
for the year.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you know? You don't know where she is now.
I don't do math.
Well, she's looking to be 120.
But we don't know what her starting weight is, so how did you figure that out?
Aha, he estimated.
I estimated it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
By my weight.
But what is your
I mean,
point,
by
though?
my-
What's the point, then?
My point is when's to be just work with the stress first.
Always going to be working with stress, yeah.
I mean, just
All of this is stress, yeah.
Yeah, all stress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not I don't give nutritional information.
Yeah.
If you're not a nutritionist, if you're not licensed to give nutritional advice or working with a program like these people are, don't go there. I'm not going to tell her how much to eat, how much not to eat, what not. She knows. She's an adult. Unless you're working with kids, and then it's even different.
The other thing
What?
is,
I said, my degree is in nutrition.
Well, you have more flexibility then, yeah.
But you would-
But again, as a hypnotist, are they coming to you for that?
Right.
And they might be. They might be. If they know you're a nutritionist and a hypnotist, then you have a lot of flexibility with that.
but Mario,
But if
that's-
you're, yeah.
I'm sorry, that's
But
an
I wouldn't-
interesting point, because if you said to me, that's 2.5 pounds a week, you know.
Is that what your point was?
something-
That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, and then I'd
So
be
what
like,
would you say?
And you'd say, "But why don't we work with the stress first?" I'd be, okay, and then I'd walk out of here going, I don't. They didn't feel.
See, I wouldn't do that. My
that
personal
wouldn't work for me.
my personal opinion would be I would not say that, because all of a sudden now you brought it into reality of,
Yeah.
oh, I have to lose 2.5
can
pounds a
feel it
week
when people
to get
say
that.
it.
See, because here's the thing. It's not about the weight.
Right, I was just gonna ask you, do you get into like the root behind what's all the emotion that's
Well,
here
when
and
you
all
do
that?
that-
That's going to come out in the sessions.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a script.
This is in the pre-talk. I just got to get her focused on where she wants to end up.
Right,
And I'm the one sitting in the room that knows it's not going to have anything to do with food.
right.
I mean, it'll have something to do with food, but the food isn't the problem.
It's stress.
Or whatever. You know.
But I'm not going to tell her that.
Yeah, Karen knows best. Somewhere deep down inside there, and that will probably come out when she's in.
There's going to be emotions, beliefs, habits, behaviors, choices
Right.
that are unconscious. So and the stress of just all of this stuff that's been going on. Stress is everything you're going to work with.
And blood pressure is because it's stress.
Everything, no matter what her goal is, no matter what your client's goal is sitting in the chair, my belief I came up with many, many years ago doing this work is
Yeah.
it's all about stress.
Or fear, underlying fear, causing the stress.
Well, it's still based in it's a stress
Very stressful.
that is having an expression physically, mentally, or emotionally, or all three, usually, because everything affects everything. So I feel like I'm always working with stress,
Dis-ease.
and when you start releasing the stress, then things start shifting.
But if you said
Yeah.
to me, we're gonna just start with the stress because
No, that's not what she-
that
yeah.
would just freak me out. I'd be like,
I want her to get excited about moving toward her
I want to
goal.
lose.
I want her to be thinking about getting excited about moving toward her goal, because her conscious mind also has to be thinking about food choices and shopping and all the
Right.
stuff that she's got to do on a logical level.
Right.
That's got to be on
That's
board
already-
too. But my job is to get to her unconscious mind.
Right.
Like I said, I only work with adults pretty much anymore. So, or someone that would already, if they're coming to me for weight loss, they already know what gets them in trouble. They know their history. I'm not listening to that about the weight. I'm listening. I want to get a focus for a goal for her to be thinking of, and then I know I'm going to be working with all this other stuff, beliefs and attitudes and expectations and all that.
So instead of.
But I have to get her to start getting excited about.
Right.
I have a destination.
If I wanted somebody to talk to me about, well, you're under a lot of stress and this happened, I would go to a counselor, which I.
Or you would come to a hypnotist and say, I've got all this stress going
Right.
on, my
It would be
job and
about my
stuff. Can
stress.
you help me with that? I'm not sleeping and I'm eating too much.
I mean, I know all that.
Then that would be the focus.
I
So
wanna
we
focus on my weight.
don't change what they came there for. But you, like I said, if she came and she's coming to me because she has this thyroid thing or something else physical, I'm still going to know that it's stress.
And the thing is.
Stress is what makes
yeah.
things out of balance, right?
Blood
So it's
pressure
always
went up
stress.
Because it's stress.
Stress, it's always about stress, but I'm not going to tell her that,
Right.
see, because I'm not a doctor, first of all. And second of all, she probably already knows that. And her doctor already said probably, you're stressing out at work, and that's why your blood pressure's, or something's out of whack, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So.
But
what-
don't get overzealous about wanting to add to what they're there for. Keep it simple. Bring it back to simple.
Right, because from my perspective now as the client,
Yeah.
it's exciting to me to think I can get hypnotized and it's going to help me lose weight.
Yes. That's what she has to be thinking
Yeah.
and expecting.
And the therapist, the hypnotherapist, they're thinking, I'm going to help alleviate her stress and give her some
Yeah,
maintenance,
exactly.
blah, blah, blah.
And guess
But
what?
you're not going to tell me that.
When I do processes with weight loss, I'm going to give you some scripts that are more generically visualizations and things regarding weight and size. But when I really work with clients for weight loss, that's rarely a part of it. That might be little pieces of it here and there, but the major part of the work I'm doing with weight issues is things to find out what kinds of limiting beliefs got picked up along their history. In timeline today is a good way to do that. What kinds of fears? What kind? Maybe some regrets or some anger issues. Any negative emotion that has been carried in those bags from the past is going to be interfering with this. It's all going to show up. I don't have to go really, I know that's what's going to show up, and it's not going to show up until she's ready to deal with it, which is why I don't do I do 6 sessions minimum. And each time, it's going to be those stair steps, remember getting to that goal. It's going to be, she's only going to let go of what she's ready to let go of that first day. And the first day is going to be a relaxation session. But she thinks we're working, she has to expect that she's going to start losing weight. That's what she came to me for. But the first step is to start de-stressing her. And that's going to be a part of every single session. That's why I give them the relaxation CD. With weight, I give them the Healthy Body CD, which has a little stuff in there about going to a buffet, and there's some little embedded commands about not overeating and things like that. But the whole first 20 minutes is a de-stressing. Because I want this person to stop stressing out over all this stuff. Yeah. So you're right. But I wouldn't relay that necessarily.
Yeah, being the client.
We might have a discussion about stress. If you start talking about your job, we might talk about it. But I'm not going to say, first of all, I'm not going to start putting your focus on that you're going to have to lose 2.5 pounds a week, or I don't want you to think about the pounds. And I know that you already know what you got to do. You already said enough that I know that you know how to eat healthy. You've done it in the past. You know you can even get excited about it. So I want to emphasize getting excited about it.
My goal can change.
Absolutely.
I've got the 120 mark, but if I get to a place where I'm feeling really good and comfortable,
exactly.
and I look good.
Yeah.
And
that's what we say with a weight goal. Like I said, it's easy to have a specific, but I want it to be something that excites her. That's why I didn't let her go back to the 130, because I saw more excitement and happiness snuck out briefly. And that's why I said, do you think it's possible? If she thinks this is possible, I want this one because it's more exciting. The more exciting the goal. And then we will have the discussion that, at this phase of your life, you may get to 130 or 135 or 124 or 118. You may get to 120 and say, boy, I feel so good. I think I could even, get a little thinner. You're going to know when you get there.
Right.
But you got to have the bullseye, I believe, to keep her on track. Because I'm also going to incorporate that into your anchor. Now, this is I'm just telling you the way I approach it. Doesn't mean it's right. Doesn't mean it's the way you'll do it. And there's hypnotists out there that won't even go with something like this. They'll go to, let's chunk that down. Let's start with a goal of losing 10 pounds and make that the goal. How much more excited would you be about 10 pounds than thinking about being 120 a year from now? Which one gets you more excited? Yeah.
No, because she was
Yeah.
off that the Weight Watchers person only told her.
Yeah, exactly. And she even gave me that. Yeah, but there are,
Exactly.
yeah, which is why, yeah.
Yeah, she
So-
was consistent. She told me what I was
Well, yeah, and anytime somebody tries to tell you what's right for you, that's usually not the
I
best.
know.
So as a hypnotist, we don't want to do that either. Everybody's different. And
I just had just put the weight on, and so everyone who knew me knew I was sort of tiny, and wow, this is big.
Right.
We got to do something. And then for this woman to go, wow, you big bone. So she saw me differently
Yeah,
than
sure.
I saw myself.
Right,
My friends
right.
knew me.
Right.
So that was that told me, I am really fat. Oh my God, she thinks I'm big bone. You know what I mean? That was all negative right there.
Sure, and all kinds of mind things going on there. But and again, each person is different. That's the thing. Just I'm going with what she's giving me.
Yeah.
This doesn't mean this is exactly how I would do anybody else, but I know what I'm going to be doing with her. I'm going to be doing what I would do pretty much, because there's going to be limiting beliefs. There's going to be regrets, fears, doubts. All kinds of stuff from the past. I'm going to do a timeline with a weight loss. I'm going to do, first of all, some ego building. That's the word they use. Sorry, but I want to start giving her some confidence. I want to start giving her a sense that she's back on a fun mission, on an exciting mission, that she can start to enjoy this journey. And that's going to give her creative mind something to start searching for. How can I make this fun? How can I make this exciting?
I like that.
Instead of thinking about how hard it's going to, all that other stuff. So it's about lifting her up into some of the things. She has access to that in her memories. So I'm going to tap into those, anchor those in, the times when she really did feel excited about, and the time when she really did feel good in her body, and the time when she felt in control, and all the things that she's sort of, that aren't available right now anymore, and bring those back, because they're still there. They're her resources. I can't give her anything she doesn't already have, remember. Now for her, this is different, again, from someone maybe who's been heavy all their life and doesn't have any of this other good stuff in the background. Then it's a different approach. But it's always going to be about stress reduction every single session, because not getting to the goal you want to be, not being where you want to be in any kind of goal, whatever the goal is stressful. It's frustrating. We get mad at ourselves.
Which causes more stress.
Yeah, and it's a vicious loop. So when they come to us, we're going to loosen that loop and we're going to start pushing them in the upswing. We want to get them in that place where they can breathe and start thinking, geez, it's, maybe it'll take, for some people, maybe it's 3 years before they'll ever be where they want to.
Had I been able to do math, I probably would have done that. I mean, I don't do math very good in my head.
But that doesn't help you, does it?
I would automatically said, oh God, that means I'd be...
See, now she's negative, see? So we don't want to bring that up, see? I want to keep her in the excited mode. You can fine-tune stuff as you go along, but the first session, you got to get her excited. You got to get her thinking, wow, this can really happen. And it really can happen here. That we're gonna do this. I'm gonna help you to do this, and give her acknowledgement for the tools she's already got. A lot of tools. You've already overcome so many things.
Yeah,
so I can access those resources, anchor them in, and let her know you've got this available to you always. You always have had it. You got it now, and right now, moving forward, you got a new goal. And this is gonna empower you to enjoy this in ways that maybe you didn't even figure out how to the last time for something new. And then when you get to this goal, a year or whatever point you get where you want to be, then you're going to have all these. Your mind is going to have all of these available resources. They're going to be filtering out and affecting everything else in your life. As you're even doing this journey, and there's all new possibilities. And by the time you're there, it'll just be all kinds of new goals you'll probably be working on anyway. And it'll just help you with everything. And by then you'll probably be in that new career that something will show up and magically.
And what I've learned in life is if you start on a path, your path may bear off to something you didn't even know you were gonna do.
Yeah.
But you have to start on the path.
You got to start.
To me, that 120 is
You
my
start
path
moving.
I'm heading
Exactly.
for,
Exactly.
Yeah.
And wherever your final destination is going to be
But if I don't move, it's
in the right direction, and it's going to be where it's right for you for whatever
so
point
mostly
in
what I
time.
want to feel is not so weary about it, not so
Weary, Yeah. How do you want to feel about it?
I want to feel.
So you got to reframe it.
Excited about my new self.
Excited about my new self. So I'm going to incorporate
I'm
that.
starting over in all kinds of
Yeah.
my whole life.
Look at her.
It's
She's
like
already. She's getting all.
teenager again and starting over. I'm
Yeah.
in my teenage angst, and I want to move forward and be my new adult self.
Good. So how do you feel right now?
A lot lighter. And we
Yeah.
didn't even do anything yet. Except
And all the hand motions are up in the air.
Yeah, and she's
I'm
flipping her
ready.
hair, and she's all. Yeah. So this is a good start now. See, for this session, and you want to keep you just want to keep moving it in the direction,
I could just, honestly, I feel energy really a lot, and I
Yeah.
can feel the, I don't know if I really feel
Negative
that.
thought negative thought is heavy.
Yeah.
Negative thought drags you down. It's that baggage. There's a reason we have metaphors like that. Dragging that baggage is
So be
not
careful, you don't
easy.
put that out
So we want to make it lighter.
just like, yeah.
Put it in a little.
You know what my thought was when you said that? First I was like,
Yeah, see, it brought her down.
But
That's
then
why you
I
got to
was
be
just like,
careful.
could
And I
you-
know your intention was you're trying to be
Well,
realistic, but
yeah.
it's not about the
you can
pounds.
think it, but don't say it to me. You can say, well,
Yeah.
we're probably not going to go there, but she doesn't need to know that because we got to keep her excited. But when
Yeah.
you said that, and then my thought was, oh God. And then my next thought was, well, how do you know it's going to be 2.5? What if I started doing 5 pounds 1 week and then I just go for
Yeah.
2? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you don't know.
But
what
now
I
you
mean.
got her. Now you got her caught up in the details of how to do it.
Yeah,
And
like blah, 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 blah.
the-
Yeah, I just started thinking.
we just
about
want to get her on the path to the destination.
Yes.
At the beginning, you can fine tune. Like I said, if this was a 3rd or 4th or 5th session, it might be a little different. Might be talking a little more details because by then you'll have some
Yeah.
stuff to the feedback. But it's still about where do you want to be? How do you want to feel?
Right.
But excuse
The
me,
weight just happens to be the thing. Yeah.
in the second or third meeting, you will find out how she's doing in her weight.
I don't ask them about weight. I know it might sound funny.
Okay.
They're going to tell me.
Yeah.
I'm focused on her emotional state.
Okay.
If she's in a positive, excited, emotional state, if I can keep that going and give her some anchors to keep it going more often than it was, at the very least, she's going to have more than she had last week before she came in to see me.
Right.
I know that, and you got to believe it. I'm giving her something to practice out there, and I would have done all that. But then when she comes back, I ask them, just tell me the good stuff first. That's what I always start with. The first 5 or 10 minutes of the session, anything and everything that went right this week. Because we want to give that, We want the attention on what's going in the right direction. She's going to tell me, I lost 3 pounds. I lost 5 pounds. I did my fat band. The first thing they said when they came in the class, you know, they wanted to tell everybody. You know, it was a quarter. We do it quarterly. They're all telling everybody how much weight they lost. There was 3 or 4 of them that had been here before.
And if women are,
You know.
women are cued to do that. It's a woman's thinking. It's always based on weight
Yeah.
out there in the world and what you look like, you know, so.
And there's one lady that was in the, I don't remember if it was the fat band, but someone that was in one of my classes for weight loss, or came to me for something. And she hadn't lost the weight, but she walked in saying, or somebody asked her, so how much weight did you lose? She said, I haven't lost any, but she said, I feel so great.
Yeah.
She said, I know I'm on my way.
Yeah.
It's not about the weight.
Right. That's a good one.
The weight is a side effect of an emotion. So losing the weight is going to be a side effect of an emotion that's more positive. Weight is a side effect of a negative emotion, excess weight. It means something doesn't feel right.
I just got this, I've been doing counseling, and I thought this was a good thing to help with counseling, but it really just hit me now, especially when we've all been talking and what you said, was my thing is I want to help people fix it. So like I would, in my counseling role, go into what you just said
Yeah.
basically. But
This
in
is a different-
hypnosis,
this
it's
is a different way of
different
thinking of it.
baby. So you gotta move the I want
Yep.
to help you hat, and just this is really going to, this is gonna work, and you don't even know we're working magic on you, kind of, you know.
People work perfectly. Nothing needs to be fixed. Nothing is broken.
I'm thinking it's
They're
part of that,
functioning
but it's not.
perfectly based on the conscious and unconscious thoughts, behaviors, attitudes, beliefs,
So that was a big awareness for me. because
choices.
I'm thinking it's still a sort of counseling. But
Yeah.
it's not.
If you look at it like she's perfect, she's the perfect result of everything that she's been thinking and doing and believing, and we just got to figure out what is that got this result, like I said, and then we got to make some adjustments. Because when you used to think about it like you were excited, guess what happened? The lupus disappeared. That's what I want to get her back to. There's a resource.
And I said I was going to make it go away.
Those are resources, and you knew you were going to make it
I
go
said
away.
it's
You know
going
you
to
have the
remission. I used
ability.
remission because to me I couldn't. My belief system wouldn't allow me to make it disappear.
Yeah.
So I called it remission, but it's gone. It's been gone.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. That's a powerful thing in her past that tells me that's everything she needs right there.
And that thing in the wall, you have people make the best choices available to them. We can encourage her, Karen, you know what, you're exactly where you're supposed to be because you've made the best choices. You have done all the right things.
But you know what? That's more counseling.
And now we're
because
going to change.
I was going to say, but if she said
when
that to you,
you're
how would that
telling
hit
me
you?
I felt it in my stomach.
Yeah.
Like this is it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny because you're.
When you're saying it, I was thinking I would never say that to her. So that, yeah.
Yeah, but it's funny because I would.
Because
think
she's
that's
not
it.
happy
But
where
that's the
she is.
counseling role, and
Yeah.
this is different. This is.
You
like-
can have that in your head again. Have that in your head. That's fine. You know, but to tell someone who's real unhappy with the way they feel and look, that you're exactly where you're. It's like no, I'm not. I don't want to be here.
You said
Huh?
something in my stomach went bloop, and you said
Really?
something else,
You
my
see-
stomach went bloop. But it is
Yeah.
true. Everything you say, and I would use that too. But it doesn't feel good. And so when you're doing
You see that
hypnosis,
from my point of view, this is just, everybody's different.
Yeah.
So I saw that in the wall and I immediately felt good because I had issues of my own.
Yeah.
And then I thought, because I'm a soft beater upper. And I saw that and I thought, okay, so I don't have to like sabotage and feel bad because I made the best choices available to me
Yeah.
now from now
So
on.
you were projecting. We're calling this
Right.
mind reading, and that's why you got to get rid of your own stuff. See,
Right.
because for you that means that. Remember, it's not the communication is on that end. That's why listening.
I already
Today
know that.
today is
Like,
about yeah.
I know that in my
Today
mind.
is about
But see,
listening.
I heard Karen beating herself up when she said that she would, and I get it.
So you heard me, so you didn't have to say that. You just incorporate it in the script somehow.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I heard what you were saying.
We
You
want,
need
and
to
that's
have
how I do.
tendency
I
to
want to
beat
fix it.
yourself up.
When I was doing my hypnosis with
Uh-huh.
my people, I wanted to be the counselor and go,
Yeah.
well, you know what, you probably should do. And I had to stop myself.
Yeah.
Because I had to remember, whatever I think that they need, I'm going to put in the script. They're going to tell me what they need, we're going to incorporate it. But
Right.
the script has a lot to do with it, not me trying to fix them. Because their own unconscious is going to fix it, right?
Yeah, the
No,
things.
I'm gonna put that in the script. Yeah,
Put what in the script?
Because I like that in their wall right there. People make the best choices available to them. That it's an empowering thing. You have the choice of making. I mean,
Yeah, you could put that in a script and see what the effect is. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. But to say it to her in this at this level, you notice it didn't have a. So you just got to be careful how you say things too.
Unconsciously, I might accept it, and I already know it to be true.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make me feel better, because why am I in this place if I know this? How did I get
Yeah.
here?
Right, no, yeah, I don't think I would put it in the pre-talk.
Yeah, yeah, okay, yeah, yeah. Yeah, but these things on the wall are NLP, which
Yeah.
I leave them there because for hypnosis, they came out of hypnosis too.
Right.
These are things for you to hold
Yeah.
and to believe on some level while you're working with people. You don't have to say them,
Right.
but you can incorporate the idea of that, right? Because when we do a timeline, if something comes up in that session or in the pre-talk that tells me there's some kind of regrets or some kind of self-flagellation going on from something from the past that might or might not logically have anything to do with her weight. Remember, it's not about the weight, it's about emotions and states. That's a symptom, if you will. Then if I get a sense of that, then on the timeline, I'm going to infer or in some way give her unconscious permission to find that place where there's something that, you know, that was taken on, or a belief that was taken on maybe, or an attitude about something or about yourself that no longer serves you. And that by implication is it did serve you at one time,
Right.
or you wouldn't have taken it on.
Everybody's
Yeah.
got those.
And then you, yes,
Somewhere.
absolutely. Yeah, that's why I said weight isn't any different than anything. It can be
Right.
cancer, it can be weight, it can be relationship problems, it can be anything.
Right.
All of the same things apply, and most of the same techniques can be used because they all have a lot of the same elements. It's all about stuff we picked up and that we don't need anymore.
I have
And yes, everything
such-
served us at one point, otherwise we wouldn't have made that choice in that moment. Even if 5 minutes later we think it's the stupidest thing we ever did, in the moment,
Yeah.
it was the best thing that came to us when we were 10 or 5 or 35, it doesn't matter, right? It really is true, yeah. Which is why parts work is good too, because you can get rid of all that.
Yeah,
Okay, you know, I
can't
did
wait
it.
till parts work.
It's the best thing I came up with in the moment, and we also use it for other people, like you were talking about cutting those strings.